Good evening, beautiful people.
Good evening.
I can't hear you.
Good evening.
Today I'm going to speak to you about how to use your experience to inspire others. But in order for me to do that, I need to share a bit about me. Is it okay if I tell you a little bit about myself?
Yes.
Raise your hands if you'd like to hear more about me.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take you back to about 39 years ago. And the reason why I'm going to take you back, I was 17 at that time. How many in here have made a mistake, but even though they've said sorry, there is a consequence to pay? Raise your hands if that's you. Well, I made an error of judgment, and at the age of 17, I became pregnant. But before I got pregnant, I had won a scholarship to go to America for a year, the only child in my school to do that, and it was a great achievement. And my parents were so proud of me. But I got pregnant. And the disappointment that my parents felt, I don't have words to explain, describe what they must have been going through, because I wasn't a parent then. But I know that for me, I carried a shame. There was a shame that I had disappointed my parents. There was a shame that I was going to become a mother and I was still a child. But it was a mistake and I had to carry that. At the age of 18, I got married. At the age of 21, I was a mother. But I didn't know who I was. I didn't have an identity. I knew that I was a mother, but who was Christine? I looked after my children. They are beautiful. I stand here today as a grandmother, and they are gorgeous. But going through life, I didn't know who I was. And when you don't know your value, people can treat you as they want. So when you're worth £1 million and they treat you for a penny, you'll stand for that penny because you don't know your value. I didn't know my potential. I really didn't know my potential. But I believe in life that our history is connected to our destiny. And the reason why I say that, I will share why I earned the right to coach, to mentor young people because of my experience. So moving on, I was a mother at 21. I got married to a man that I really didn't know, didn't understand. He had his own issues. I didn't thrive in it. But I knew that I had the responsibility of looking after 2 children that was mine. So I drove myself to work. I wasn't a stupid young lady. So I drove myself to work, but I didn't want anything that was going to tax my brain. I just wanted to work so I could pay the bills to look after my children. I work in the legal profession. And I remember joining the set of chambers, and my head of chambers came to me and said, "Have you got any qualifications?" And that hit me in my stomach because I knew my potential, but I didn't have any qualifications. But there was something that she saw in me that I didn't see in myself. And you know, I was blessed for them to actually send me to university. I was able to take a postgraduate degree course in business management, and I achieved it, and I graduated. That was the start of knowing that there was something of greatness inside me. And there was no stopping me, so I decided that I was going to make something of my life. I knew that I wanted to leave a legacy for my children. I wanted to know that I would leave them being proud of me. And my life was not going to be based on a mistake that I made when I was a child. It's not where you start. It's not where you start. It's where you're going that matters in life. And so I had always had this thing of proving to my mother, my dad, that, you know, you may have been disappointed, but I won't be a disappointment for the rest of my life. After I graduated, the set of chambers said, you know, we're not going to hold on to you because you're going to want to soar. I stand today as a director of finance in a barrister's set of chambers, and I'm very, very proud of my achievement. But what I have done is I have gone back to where I was as a young child, and I have become the person that I needed at the time when I was younger. And there are young women that I stand beside that don't know themselves, that have made wrong relationship choices, that have been abused, that don't know their potential. And what I do is I come along and I sit with them wherever they are. I build up a relationship of trust. I kneel with them when they can kneel. I stand with them when they can stand. And I run with them until they can soar. I inspire them, I equip them with the right tools, and I empower them to use their story, to use their experience to empower others. Because every one of us in here have something of value that we can lend, that we can share and give to somebody else and make a difference in their life. I wouldn't even say it was a mistake, because I do believe that my history was connected to my destiny. I can now go to young people when they say you don't understand, but the vulnerability that they're having, I was vulnerable. I believe in authenticity. And if you are authentic about and share your story, you don't realise how much you're impacting someone. You don't realise that you're giving someone else confidence and the ability to look inside, and they can recognise that they have a potential. You can then encourage them to soar. I had to stand up and achieve. It was something of a pride thing within myself to say, I am not a failure. It's the words that we speak to ourselves. When I was told I was a failure, I took those words and I wore them as a coat. I behaved, they were my comfort. I just felt that I'm here, I've made this mistake, and I won't amount to anything. I did that for many, many years. But there comes a point in life that you decide and make that decision, and it is your choice. But not everybody feels that they have that choice. And everybody in here, I encourage you, for the young people, because that's my passion. When you look at a lifeless young lady that has no idea what she is capable of, and you give a word, a hug, a smile, you can empower that person to take one step further. It starts with one step. And they can take another step, and they can then stand on this stage and share their story because someone came alongside and encouraged them. So I'm going to leave you with just a few words, and the words that stick with me because one of my little mentees said it to me. You are the person that I needed when I was younger. So I'd say to you, become the person that you needed when you were younger. That way, you help others to help themselves. My name's Christine Giscombe. I thank you this evening for taking the time to listen to me. And there's one line that I want to leave that was asked to me, if there was one sentence that could describe you, and I'm going to describe myself as, out of the abundance of my heart, I spoke to inspire, to equip, and to empower. Thank you very much.